Okay. We're here by ourselves today, but I got the shop relatively cleaned out, and we're gonna get back for part 2 on the wife's snowmobile, or the Yamaha Ovation. I believe we figured out it was a 92. I think is what we established. And in this video, I think we're just gonna start cleaning it up and making it look better, and trying to adjust that seat for now. I'm eventually gonna buy the new foam because the mice got to it there, but sometime today we are going to rip that seat off, probably put new plywood underneath, and see how good that gas tank's looking. Try to put some new material on it, and by that I mean some cheap stuff from Wally World. And then we're gonna come up front and we are going to clean and try to polish some shine back into the plastics, and try to get the yellowing for the most part out of the windshield. And then we are gonna try to clean them skis up a little bit and throw a quick coat of paint on them, and just start with that. And then if we get far enough, we will dig into the under the hood side of it. And again, we'll try to clean that, and we'll try to clean some of this stuff up a lot better. That oil bottle's pretty nasty. Maybe paint some stuff. There's a lot of junk down there. Probably want to get out of there before it starts on fire or rots it out or anything. So, but other than that, we can show you what we have for it and kind of figure that out. I know it's not water I know this isn't like water resistant really, but on a budget, just to make it look decent and feel better, this is what we're using. And I know it's not correct, but I do know it is cheap. So I think there's 8 yards here for like $10 a yard, so fairly cheap. It's got a little liner underneath of it, and then you got like this little weaved pattern, and it's just black. So we'll try to put that on that foam. Maybe find some other foam laying around and like cut some patches and patch that guy up a little bit. It ain't gonna be pretty. It's not supposed to be pretty. It's just gonna be better than what it is for now until I find a new one, because I want to actually find a new foam in good shape with the correct material on it. So I will bring you guys back in a minute. I am going to throw you guys on a tripod and see what we get into. I'm going to start by vacuuming it out and go from there, I guess. Okay, I got the vacuum out. We're going to try to vacuum her up. I'm probably going to throw you actually in a time lapse when I do it. Probably most of this video, we'll see. I did forget to show you, I bought microfiber towels. I bought a headlight restoration kit. I mainly bought it just for that pad. We got some Rust-Oleum 2x cover, gloss black. We got 2 of them, and some cheap polishing compound on. This is what we're going to use on the plastics. I am not very good at detailing, but we'll see how it goes, and we'll see if this thing looks any better. So we're just gonna set you up here. And let's just vacuum this out. See how that goes. Okay, so a little bit of persuasion with the grinder, and I got the bolt cut off. The foam, so what it looks like is the foam was kind of glued onto this plastic piece, which might not be the tank, it might just be a shell over the tank. And then it was all like screwed onto this thin piece of plywood. So now we got to get this shell off right here, which I think is just these two big screws, one on each side. And it looks like someone must have been in here before, unless that's factory duct tape. Go for a big screwdriver. Aha! There. Now throw these screws with all the other hardware. Now this should pop right off. So. And now we just have all this wood right here. Now there's the tank. I think we did this. Looks like that rubber cap's got some mold on it. And clean all that up. We'll leave the tank in here. We're not restoring this. We're just making it gooder, you know. So now that we made a mess, let's start cleaning up our mess. And I think by that, I'm going to grab a scraper. No. Grab a plastic bristle brush, and then we'll just work on this whole thing just with this brush first. This is just gonna help loosen everything up, make everything loose. Grab a screwdriver and pick that out of there. I don't know what that is. Be good enough for that. There you go. Now, let's hook the vacuum back up. Hook the vacuum up. This is purple power, and we're just gonna soak this whole thing down. My bottle leaks more than what I'm spraying out, apparently. Get it all over. Soak the whole thing down. We'll let that sit on here for a little bit to, let it sit on here to try to get it all to loosen up. It's not going to be pretty. I mean, this thing's in pretty decent shape, but it's also been rolled pretty good too. Get that back flat. Okay. I think that'll be good for now. We'll let that sit for a minute, and then probably just grab rags and just wash it off, wipe it off with the rags, and we're gonna call it good enough because it is a budget snowmobile on some budget borrowed time. So while we wait for that to dry, soak in. I'm going to try to take all the staples and stuff out of here, right? So we can spray this down, get this cleaned up. That way we have time to let that sit, and we have this prepared for it later. Flathead screwdriver and pair of nails. think I have any spray adhesive or anything to put on that seat when I go to glue it back onto here. I don't think I have anything for that. So either we're going to get creative, or I'm not going to worry about it because this is temporary until I find a new seat, and it won't matter once the new stuff's on. It'll hold the foam to this. I'm going to staple this back on. It's going to be a little tricky. I have a heavy duty stapler, but I think it's getting kind of weak. You want a pretty good stapler to put staples into this stuff. Not your generic stapler off of your computer desk. You're going to throw a staple in plastic. We're going to see, we're going to figure it out, as we always do. I actually used that same material when I did the seat on, you haven't seen it, but I had I think it was a 99, 98 Polaris Explorer 400 two-stroke that had a bad seat on it too, and I bought that same stuff, and it seemed to work pretty good. It has a lot of creases in it, just because it doesn't conform really good at all to like curves, so we'll have to worry about that a little bit, but other than that, it should work pretty good. Okay. Now that this is done, oh, I got a cold. We're gonna spray this too. Okay, let that guy soak. Now we'll come in here. Clean all that up. Don't worry about the dog barking out there. Probably doesn't even know what she's barking at. Okay. Clean our tunnel up a little bit. Once I get all the first layer of the big stuff off, then we'll go through and with a good rag, and we'll clean it up again. Here. I'll be right back. Okay. So the main top of the tunnel is pretty much prepped for us doing the seat, and we should be pretty good there. We gotta find a piece of plywood, kind of like that, what that used to be. We gotta find a piece of plywood to put in here. But before we do that, I'm gonna hit some of this with a quick coat of paint where it's rubbed through, and just kind of make it look better. This ain't a restoration. I am doing a quick job on this, so don't hate me for the job I do, because I can do a better job if I want to. So I'm going to tape some of this off, that way I don't get overspray on the graphics and stuff, and then we're going to hit this with a coat of paint. Sure. I'm not going to try to paint up to this face on the bottom side. I just want to make sure that overspray doesn't get up into the decal. Okay, that's good enough. Now we're just going to use one of this gloss black. And we're just going to get rid of all them scratches and then put another coat up here. Help prevent this from rusting. Is it perfect? No. But it'll look better. I'm gonna get some up here. Not perfect, but it's better. Rebuilt. Brand new. There. So now that that's prepped, I am going to go scrounge up I'm going to scrounge up a piece of wood for this, and we'll get it. We'll start tackling the seat next, I think, while that dries. Okay. So I got a piece of wood cut to the dimensions I could get off of that old wood. I got this cleaned up a little bit, good enough for what we need. So I gotta take the staples out of it. And then we should be able to put all these pieces together and hopefully make a seat. I think, or something, maybe, somehow, like that. Yeah, that's gotta sit like that. And that'll sit over it like so. And I'm gonna sit over that like so. Something like that. And boom, seat. So we gotta try getting most of the wood off of that. It's gonna be whatever it is now. Now we gotta finish taking all the staples out of here. staples out of there. Now we gotta screw this down to this wood or something. That's gotta go on there like that somehow. That guy's gonna sit like that. That guy should sit like that. And we'll put it on there then. One second. Okay, so I think what I'm gonna do here is well, they had top rivets in this. A little bit smaller than the ones I have, but I'm gonna try to do about the same thing. Now I should hold it in place for both of these. When we go to put the foam on, it'll sit right where it needs to be. So I'm going to do that with all of these, and then we'll get back. Okay, well, I need to go grab a different rivet. Grab a little baby washer. Yeah, that one didn't hold. Probably because it hollowed out too far. Let's try that one again. If this don't work, then we're just gonna not use it. There we go. So what I did there is I used this one the first time and it didn't work because that's about the thickness of the wood. So I went with a little bit longer one. As it sunk up, as it got squished, I kept pushing it down so it would stay down below, like flush. And then that just put more squeeze on it and made it bigger on this end to fill that extra gap. There. So now, for the most part, that's all one piece. Now that'll suck up nicely like that. Okay, so this is the next day. We got the Chop Dog with us today. And I got spray foam, or I got spray adhesive, and I had these old chunks of foam laying around. So I patched the holes on it. I think it's gonna be perfect. It'll get covered anyways, who cares? But this should be a solid piece now, so we can take the whole thing and put it up on the workbench and try to wrap it. Okay, I got this laid out. I think it'll be the right amount. Should be, I have extra. This will be the side that we start on. This should be the middle of where we start. Let's get the seat up here, and then I'm just gonna throw you in a time lapse, and you can just watch me struggle in the time lapse. So we're supposed to run it through there. So I'm gonna get that ran off camera and we'll get back to you. Okay, I got the seat back on. I got the wire in there this time. So now we can install that rear light. Should have probably cleaned it up a little bit better, but whatever. There. And you have to wash them. Oh, size is better. What we're going with? 10mm now. I'm just gonna wash this guy off a little bit. Doesn't matter. Screwdriver. Wash this off again. Now, for being as bad as it is, it don't look horrible. Definitely seem worse. And now we have to attach the front of the seat. I'll put new washers on. Try to center the one if you can. tape back on. Okay, so a quick job. We have sawdust, we have dust from the wood on there, but other than it being wrinkly, it looks a lot better. Now the next step is going to be cleaning up the front here and painting these. This video is already pretty long. That seat took forever. So I guess we're going to make a part 3 to this video. And that'll be detailing all the front stuff. But like, comment, and subscribe if you want to.